Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today's topic is on Taiji and internal arts, and Zen's question on the relationship between Song and Yi. Song is the quality of release in the body, and Yi is the mind intent, and the relationship it has, I'll address is just for general health, Tai Chi practice, and also for healing and push hands and how it relates to martial arts. So Song, if we're taking how I learned it was through the fluidic hydraulic pressure model, is that you start with loosening exercises, and you're emptying the body of tension and blockage. And what that feels like is it feels like muscular contraction when it's not supposed to be occurring, and like working with people's bodies, that's why they go to massage, everything's tense and tight and knotted up, and the fascia is all twisted and messed up. They might go to acupuncture, they might go to chiropractic, and the chiropractic can actually understands how to work with the fascia, or they go to rolfing or Alexander technique. But Tai Chi is really amazing in the way that I came to Tai Chi through rolfing and Alexander technique, and it's expensive. You pay I live in Boston, it's like $60 every session, and it would kind of work, but it wouldn't allow you to feel what's actually going on. If you wouldn't be able to gauge, like if you're getting your car fixed, whether any part was actually fixed. And those are from pretty good people in Boston. So what Tai Chi does is that building the ball allows you to get the Tingjin, the listening skill, to feel inside the body and to feel in the space around you, to allow you to feel the changes that need to occur. It allows you to feel the facial web, the fascia, and it allows you to feel the insides of the body to feel if something's actually releasing or not. So another sign of tension and blockage is it feels like Zen posted that really good chart from the Chen Tai Chi schools about basically the tension's all in the upper part of the body, and just that's how we move in the West, is all the tension in the upper part of the body, and none of it sinks down to the root of the feet. And the basement can't be built, as they say in boxing. Basement's messed up. So Tai Chi's method of building the foundation and building a correct basement is by getting all the sediment and sand out of the top of the body, all the hardness, and getting it to release down to the feet. And then the basement's built. And for the fluid hydraulic model, if you know anything about science or anatomy or biology, the feet and the legs pump a lot of blood and fluids up through the body. And then the insides of the body, the intestines, lower intestinal organs, and then going up the body, it's fluid. We've got fluids running everywhere inside the body. The stomach, internal organs, fluid. So I feel like a fluid bag here in the stomach. For the fluid hydraulic model, we want to get the fluids pumping from the feet pumps up through the body cleanly, and then out to the point of contact, the hands and the arms. And to do that, we need a clean facial web system, clean enough with a minimal amount of twists and knots and damage. And we need everything where there's fluids inside not to be stuck and frozen. It's going to feel like there's mentally, it's going to feel like there's ice inside the body. We want to be able to let go of that and melt that down to the feet. So that's the process of Song. So you do that through standing, through Wang Shenshens for loosening exercises, whatever your teacher has given you to loosen, empty the body. And then the process of filling the body is pumping the hydraulic fluids up through the fascia, and then filling it like a balloon, what they call like balloon man in Taiji. And you get that in the simplest way is to do that through building the ball qigong. So building the ball qigong is a great skill stack multiplier because you can stack all these skills within one exercise or one drill instead of having to do long form and all these complicated neighboring drills and stuff. And so the yi, the mind intent, once the body is clean enough to conduct hydraulic fluids cleanly through the body and it's not a frozen lake, then the fluids can propagate and you can work at the fluid level. And it's actually, the mind will actually cleanly, it's going to feel like waves of release going through your body and through your partner. So this is called songjin, or the strength of your song. It's going to feel like wave power, hydraulic wave power going through the partner. And it's designed to melt through muscular tension. So it's got a dual purpose for healing. It's going to feel like you can melt through people's tension and you can release blockages for them for healing. For martial arts, it's going to feel like the person's getting bullied because their muscular tension is blocking them from being able to neutralize your soul. This is like one of the secrets of Taiji. So you need a clean yi, clean mind intent, clean mental clarity and calm to be able to have enough the clarity of Tingjin and calmness of the mind to search inside the body of your partner and to feel the blockage and wherever it's blocked so that you can heal, release, or move them. Push hands. So how to do this? Because it's not talked about. People make, they want you to go study with them. They won't tell you actually how to do it. Mark Rasmus has amazing videos on building the ball qigong and the process of transforming jin to qi to be able to achieve this. Well, I haven't seen any other teacher really be able to explain it biomechanically, step by step, in a linear method to be able to achieve this. Some people are really good at talking about the theory of it, the theoretical and historical basis, but that's in the past. It doesn't have anything to do with building a practice now to create the future that you desire and want for your internal practice, for your health, for your martial arts. So what you're looking for is to do building the ball qigong 5 to 10 minutes every day. And at first, it's called the rate of transformation is going to be slow. It's going to feel like there's not much bounce or compression when you're linking the joints, unlinking the joints. You're not going to be able to feel much inside the space between your hands. It's not going to feel very magnetic, hydraulic, or electric compressive. You have to build that sensation and those feelings. And once you're told these are the sensations that you're looking to amplify, it makes it a lot easier. If you go to a teacher and they don't tell you, they just say, oh, build the ball, and they don't tell you exactly the mechanics to look for and the sensations to look for, you'll just be wasting your time and wasting your money, and you just have to know what you want and what your goals are. So what you're looking to do is, the more you do it over time, and the more you can get a highly refined sense of knowing the mechanics, you'll be able to build denser and thicker feeling of hydraulic fluid in the body. The hydraulics will increase, and the hydraulic pressure, if you do it standing, it's going to increase more of the hydraulic pressure. And you'll be able to build Blue Man fairly quickly. You go you can do it both ways. I would do it starting with the feet. Basically, you can feel the hydraulic, you sink the hips, raise the spine, sink the hips, stretch the spine up, sink the hips, and then the hydraulic fluids will sink to the floor to the feet, and then what goes down comes up, and the fluid pressure will rise up through the feet and then transmit through the hands. And you keep doing that, and then once it gets out to the hands, you allow the fluidic pressure, all the blood and the fluids that were in the point of contact, and inflating the facial web, you allow it to sink back down and release back down to the feet. and this is also one of the keys to building, you know, rebounding Jin in Taiji. So this one basic exercise builds you the coveted Song Jin, rebounding Jin, elastic force to feel the fascia in one exercise instead of doing a form where your mind's scattered, you know, trying to figure out all these like micro mechanics, you know, so you're looking for more hydraulic, fluidic, thick, really thick, soupy, fluidic pressure. And when you push with people, the difference is on the partner's end, they're going to feel like your body's incredibly heavy, and like they're sinking into like the deep end of, you know, the pool, and they're in the kiddie pool, because it's going to feel relative. The hydraulic differential is going to allow them to feel like they're floating and that you're the ocean, basically, relative to how much hung or hydraulic pressure you've built in your body. I know there's teachers that put stuff out, it's like, oh, it's just the bone structure, it's just the skeleton. And that's like basic rebounding through the bone structure. But to get the real thing and to get past the level where you can actually use it against people that brace, like bracing's not wrong. You need to learn how to brace and to do that with your structure for a beginner. And I know lots of people that teach that are still bracing. That's fine. That's fine. But you have to realize that they're going to be, and they haven't dealt with people that are bigger than them that can also brace, and that will run them over. So the idea is, and this is the hard part, is that you need to practice a lot, and it's going to take more practice, and it's going to take a longer time to develop correct Pengjin and a clean, powerful hydraulic system relative to people that do an external bracing type art. Hungar, you know, certain schools of Chinese martial arts, Western boxing, wrestling. Now, what those other arts get you is they get you results really fast. You know, it's like putting a soldier on the battlefield, and they're expendable, and they're very powerful, and they get the job done. But Taiji is a long-term art, and if you can do it correctly, if you have a correct method, it's like investing in a Ferrari. It's going to take you a little bit more time to get the money to get the Ferrari. So these are things to think about. So the question about Song, Feng Song, and Yi, great, wonderful question. And to get correct Song, to get a taste of it, takes some time, because the release process and letting go process is not easy, and it's even worse under gravity, because sitting, it's easier to highlight some things, but it's only applicable to sitting. If you want to do martial arts or anything standing, once you stand, through the force of gravity and the release process of emptying things out, it's probably going to be pretty painful. And people don't like pain. They don't like change. They don't like pain. Welcome to America. You know, we've got a new president. People on both sides are, you know, some people have been freaking out the last year. They don't like Trump, and they've got this massive amount of change, and they're happy, and then they'll be unhappy when there's more change, and there's a Republican president, and all my Republican friends are mad. They're not used to so much change so quickly. So the process of Song is useful in daily life, because it's like, well, there's always change. You know, I can feel like my insides are more released. The outsides don't affect me as much. You know, whether I'm being wrestled or kicked or boxed, you know, it still hurts depending on how much Song you have, but it's okay, I can let go more under the physical force of gravity. So that's the difference between, you know, sitting Qigong meditation and doing it standing, is that it changes a little bit, the effect you get. So I'll leave it there for right now. Great question, by the way, Zen. Thank you. You know, I'm not a historian, I'm not an academic, I'm not a translator, but I had the intuition and the knowing where I wanted to go to be able to start to get the oral transmission and get the transmissions that I wanted, and to be able to get where I wanted to go, and to bypass all this stuff. Because you don't know whether these things that are written on the internet or shown in videos are really true. You have to know for yourself. You have to take responsibility for your empowerment in your life, and you have to find out, and you have to test it. And I've been through several teachers. I don't agree with all of them on several things, but the good ones will say, we don't need to agree on everything. I don't need to control you to help you, and I want to empower you to live the best life that you can. And the Best Teachers is a good book, funny book by this Taiji teacher named T.T. Liang, saying, steal my art. And that's what good teachers will say is that, steal my art. And they'll put the whole thing out, the whole transmission out there, and they'll see how intuitive you are, how deep you want it, and the good ones, good students, will get it a lot faster, because they're like, they understand that the depth and the value and the meaning of an art. Okay, so hope that helps, and again, shoot me any messages and questions. I'm trying to do more practical stuff, but it's going to be dependent on the question I get, because Mark Rasmus has already put almost his whole system up there for free. I have access to his paid programs, and it's really about what you as a student, because almost his whole system is up for free online, and if you just practice it, you'll get so far into it that you might not need the paid stuff. So hope that helps. Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye.